Welcome, everybody. Here's where your sleep becomes your superpower, and I'm so excited for you to take this journey because if you do, you will see that your life is gonna change completely, like it did to me. I went from being zero, like the probably worst sleeper in the world, due to my sport. I used to be a race car driver for 15 years. Now I'm a coach, I'm a team manager, but you know what? Like it completely blew my mind when I finally realized how to sleep, and I hope that's gonna be the same for you because really I was sleeping so horribly, and now just like my life fixed by itself because everything I'm doing, all the decisions I'm taking during my day are 10 times better, and then everything compounds and gets so much better. So I just wanted to show you this quote. It's from an Irish proverb which says a good laugh and a long sleep are the best cures in the doctor's book, and I really resonates with that, and I hope that you do too. So that's what I said. I just want you to get from zero to hero as what I've done to myself. And yeah, I think you can do it. It's very easy. If I've done it, you can do it. I really believe in you. And it's nothing extremely difficult. You know, it's pretty simple. You just have to do the steps, okay? Just apply them every single day consistently. And then it's going to become, automatic. I really believe that. And by the way, I've just launched a sleep hacking show. Actually, it's a podcast. So if you want to listen to it, we have more than 60 episodes on it with hundreds of views. So it's going pretty well. If you want that, it's totally free. So feel free. We got it on Spotify, also a Google Podcast or Apple Podcast. So just feel free to check it out if you want. And this myself, as I've said, I was racing for 15 years. Won a world championship actually in go-karts. So that was in 2013 against drivers like Lando Norris, which is now a Formula One driver. So yeah, really proud of that. This is my GT3 car from last year, my Mercedes MG. And yeah, that's some pictures from me as a racer. Just wanted to introduce myself, nothing to brag. I just wanted to let you know that everything I've done, all this personal development was really because I was struggling like crazy. And so I really wanted to give it for free to the world. As I've said, this is a free course. I'm gonna keep it free no matter what. And so yeah, I just wanted to help you out because I've seen on myself that was that was huge. That was so. I'm so relieved, and I wish I could have learned that earlier because now my life is really really good. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was racing Formula 3 against now Formula 1 drivers. You can see on the left, you can see Lance Stroll on the right hand side. You can see George Russell. This is one of my victories in Formula 3 the Pro Grand Prix. Yeah, that's Formula 2. Me that was featuring in a Formula 1 on the right side. I was on a Formula 1 game in 2019. If you purchase it, you can find me in the Formula 2 racing. And yeah, that's it. I wanted to congratulate with you because listen, it's not easy to take this step. You have searched on Udemy for this. You want to improve your sleep, and now you are one step closer to taking action. And anyways, I really hope to see you on the other side. As you can see, like there's been 4 times the interest towards sleep services, sleep solutions since 2009. This is like a trend, Google Trends screenshot. So as I've said, so many people are suffering from this. They are suffering, and so you're not alone. And I'm so happy that you are taking this step. Okay, you really deserve to sleep well, so that you ultimately, it's really because you can fix your life. Like you can help yourself a lot. You can feel 10 times better. Your mood can be 10 times better. You can be 10 times more productive. And I really do think I wouldn't be the same as I'm right now, nowhere near, if I wouldn't have learned how to sleep. So having said that, I think sleep is a skill. You can master it, and I'm here to help you out, hopefully. So see you to the other side. First of all, as I've mentioned in the introductory lecture, I am not a sleep doctor nor a sleep scientist, all right? I just wanted to make this clear real quick. And so all the information provided is just information, okay? That is not medical advice. This is all thanks to my experience, thanks to my personal experience, and most of it comes from also what I read on books and on articles. But as I've said, you should not take this as medical advice, okay? Just as informational purposes, right? And really, I'm not a doctor, not a sleep scientist, so please acknowledge that, okay? If you don't find this, if you find this to be a problem, then just please go and check a course from somebody else. But this is just from my personal experience, being in the trench, being a human guinea pig, just like testing everything on myself under pressure for my racing, and that really like resonates with me. So I just wanted to let you know, okay? And so yeah, having said that, let's go to hack number 1. All right, so hack number 1 is about comprehending the value of sleep. Now, this to me is one of the most important things for you to understand, because once you will understand this, you will value your sleep completely different, okay? Because having a high quality of sleep and also having enough sleep at night, it is so important for your daily energy, for your daily motivation, for your daily productivity, but also for your long-term health, okay? For your long-term health, which means 5, 10, 20 years from now, okay? It is so important for you. And now let's go through it. Okay, so you will have 3 things happening in the night. So you will have body restoration, like a general body restoration. Then we will have a brain restoration and also an emotional restoration. We will see later. So essentially what happens is that during the night, you are in an anabolic state, which means that your body restores itself, okay? Your tissues restore itself. It's like a rejuvenating factor. Why? Because during the day, instead, you are in a catabolic state. So what happens is that your tissues break down, okay? And the more the day goes on, the more they break down. So that's why you need your sleep, okay? Of course, you get more and more tired during the day, but also this is what happens. Your tissue break down. And so in order for you to prepare for the next day, you have to fall asleep, and you have to sleep enough with high quality, getting into that anabolic state, which is going to help you. It's kind of like a rejuvenating thing, both on the short term and also on the long term, okay? And then what happens is that your brainwave activity slows down, okay, which also help you to get a high, deep quality of sleep. And that you will see that there's different phases of sleep. There's REM, okay, non-REM sleep, and so on and so forth. And then also you start to get into cytokines. Okay, you start to get cytokines, which really help your body fight inflammation, which is exactly what it happens with the anabolic state, which again helps to restore your tissues. Okay, and then this is what physiologically happens. So your heart rate slows down, as you can imagine. You will see that it feels like everything is cooling down, and then your blood pressure drops, your body temp drops, your energy expenditure drops. Okay, what happens is that your muscle tone drops as well. Actually, during the REM sleep, okay, which is essentially when you're dreaming, you get into atonia, which essentially blocks yourself from moving. That's good, because think about it. If you were like in a dream, imagine if you could move yourself, like if you could act. Okay, and there's also some some problems with some people, with this atonia. Sometimes crimes happen because of that, and that's perhaps not even their fault. But when there's a problem with this muscle atonia thing, you might suffer with severe consequences. But of course, this is like a very tiny percentage of people, But just to let you know, I didn't want to confuse you, okay? During the night, especially during REM, your muscle tone drops, and in REM actually is inexistent, okay? So then you get plenty of hormone production during the night. Melatonin helps you to fall asleep and maintain sleep. HGH, human growth hormone, which helps to build your muscle up. That's why it's really important to sleep, especially after training. Okay, because that's what's gonna happen during the night. Your human growth hormone is gonna be like flowing in your body, and that's gonna be so good for you, for your body, for your muscle to recover. Okay, then cortisol is reduced, luckily, and that's why when you're stressed, by the way, you're not falling asleep easily, because you have plenty of cortisol, and you need your cortisol to reduce also to initiate sleep, same as melatonin. Okay, during the night it drops naturally, but also in order for the sleep you need to kind of drop it beforehand. Okay, and then leptin, ghrelin, they are the two hormones responsible for the feeling of hunger and satiety. When you especially when you do feel hungry, and it's like the balance between feeling hungry and feeling full. So then we go to the brain restoration, as we were mentioning. So basically, sleep helps restore the brain by flushing out toxins that build up during the waking hours. So think about it, like during the day you feel more and more, you feel less and less lucid, you feel more and more tired. And actually they've seen that after 24 hours of sleep deprivation, okay, you've got a 6% reduction in glucose to the brain in general. But what is more worrying is that you get 12 to 14% reduction in the prefrontal cortex, which is this area here, okay, in the front, and basically that's responsible for analytical thinking, for decision making, which is so important for your life, for daily for daily choices, daily decisions, but also for your long term. Okay, because as you see, because sleep deprivation also can cause really severe cognitive and emotional problems. Think about it. Like, I used to be depressed. Like, when I was not sleeping well for a few weeks, which is what happened most of the time, I could not feel great during the day. I was like feeling so sad, irritable, easily irritable. Like, if people told me something that, I'd be very, very soon irritated. So, and that was my fault, that was not their fault. It was just my fault because I was not feeling good. Okay. And so very irritable, and then you also feel depressed ultimately. So that's not great. And anyways, then you get into emotional restoration. And that's exactly what I was mentioning. Is very correlated to depression, to irritability. So basically, it's really difficult to control ourselves when we are sleep deprived. Whereas when we are well rested, we can smile at people. The world is smiling back to you, and so it's completely different point of view. Your point of view of life changes, and that's such a great thing. And then, as I've said before, decision making is such a huge factor in our lives. And if you are sleep deprived, you cannot make decisions. You're totally. It's like if you're drunk. Do you think when you're drunk you're able to do the good decisions? No. And that's exactly when you're well rested, you have a much better judgment and decision making. Okay, and so that's you also don't even realize sometimes when you're sleep deprived that you're sleep deprived, and you start to make bad decisions, even though you think they are the right ones. Like, I don't know, getting into a car thinking you're fine, but you're not. Okay, so. And that's it. You can make better daily changes if you're well rested, but also cumulatively these changes will add up through the years, through your life, and it will change completely the trajectory of your life. And having said that, let's go to hack number 2. All right, hack number 2 is about saying goodbye to television. Now, the reason for that is that, as you will see, television is so destructive for your sleep. Now, I cannot emphasize that enough. It is so disruptive for your sleep, because television really emits blue light, and blue light is so bad for you. Okay, because blue light is going to interfere with your melatonin, as you will see in the next slide. But that's what you need to do. You need to dump television out of your bedroom. Okay, because it is really bad, as you will see. And really, if anything, go watch it in the living room instead, like before you go to sleep. But I highly discourage you to do that, and you will see in the next lectures what we can do instead in order for us to sleep better. But the first thing I would do is to dump television. Either like hide the remote control, or the best thing you could do is like literally take it off of your room. Because if you got it in your room and you're like used to watching it quite a lot, the only thing you can do is get rid of it, take it out. So once you get in your bed, once you get in your bedroom, the only thing you can do is sleep. Okay, sleep, perhaps read something, do some meditation, have some sex, or really, like, your bedroom should only be associated with sleep and sex. Okay, maximum reading, okay, but nothing else, all right? So television, watching social media on your mobile phone, sending emails, they are not allowed. Okay, we are here to hack our sleep and to have a much better life, much better quality of sleep, much better quality of life. Therefore, please go and do that. Okay, then, because the thing is that, as I've previously said, television will dramatically reduce the quality of sleep. Okay, because as I've said, it produces a ton of blue light. Okay, blue light is the worst for the melatonin hormone. Okay, you need melatonin in order for you to fall asleep, but also to maintain sleep. And if you do not have that melatonin, okay, if you don't have enough, because of your sleep, because your television is producing a ton of blue light, okay, you're gonna be screwed. Okay, blue light is the worst. Blue light is the worst. It's the worst for your melatonin production. Okay, and artificial blue light, of course, the ones that coming from the phone, your screen, that is again the worst, and that's why you should avoid television and also all the other electronic devices such as laptops, mobile phones. But TV is usually the worst, so that's why I'm saying that. Sorry, but I need to really emphasize this. Okay, and really like the longer, the longer time you spend, into this phase of watching TV, the lower the melatonin, the more difficult it will be for you to fall asleep, but also to maintain sleep and to maintain deep sleep, okay? And so you will spend less time in deep sleep, more time in REM sleep, and that's not going to be good for your quality, okay? And that will make you feel really terrible and unrefreshed the next day, feeling groggy. Have you ever had that? So please, just dump television out of your room, okay? And seriously, because that's not only it. Blue light ain't the only problem, okay? You also got the noise that it emits, okay? If you're trying to fall asleep and constantly hear the volume, okay, the voice talking, TV, they're not gonna be helping you, okay? And also, many times they will kind of excite, like they will stimulate your nervous system. That's really bad, because if they stimulate your nervous system, that's exactly the opposite of what we want to do. Because especially if you're watching horror movies, that's going to stimulate the sympathetic system, which is the fight or flight, which will really light up your nervous system like a Christmas tree, really. And that's not good, because it's going to shoot up to the moon. Your cortisol levels, your heart rate will start to raise. That's not good, because as we've seen in the previous lecture, we need our heart rate to slow down, our brainwaves to slow down, and so everything has to go towards that. Whereas with TV, we're actually disrupting everything of that, okay? That's going to stimulate ourselves to stay awake, and that's not good, right? It's literally like as if you are like being chased by a lion and you're like like in this case a zebra. That's what happens when you stimulate your fight or flight system, like as we've said with horror movies or whatever that stimulates that, okay? So anything that stimulates your fight or flight system is not good, okay? It's not good. So please do not do that before going to bed, otherwise you're going to be highly disrupted, okay? And as I said, if for whatever reasons you have to watch it, like, I don't know, it's like the most important soccer game in the year or whatever, okay, just please start to use these blue light blocking glasses. You can get them on Amazon really cheaply for like 25, 30 bucks, okay? The only thing they do is they block blue light, okay? Now, I have been using them and I use them sometimes, but I do feel that's not exactly the same as not watching it at all, okay? So in my opinion, the best thing is to really dump TV, dump any electronics at night, okay? And really, like, it's much better to have to read, meditate, stretch, have sex or whatever, okay? Hack number 3 is about having an optimal bedroom temperature, okay? Now, I guess you have probably experienced yourself having a bedroom temperature of around 30 degrees or like 15 or 10 degrees is not that great. Like I've experienced myself, like in summer, whenever my AC wasn't working, or like had stayed in a hotel that didn't provide AC, I would struggle really a lot, especially during the race week. And like I was really like looking into the hotels, like, and like double checking with the the reception that the AC was working and stuff like that, because like I couldn't sleep when it was too hot. Oh, and that was it. Or at the same time when it was too cold, like in the winter, like of course that's less usual, but it's actually more usual to it's more common to be sleeping in the heat in summer, and that's not good. You will see, because they have done plenty of studies, and they've seen that around 18 degrees Celsius is the optimal temperature for optimal sleep, okay? So which is around 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, of course, it's really difficult to have it precisely at that temperature, even if you set the AC at exactly 18 degrees. But we can say around 15 to 20 degrees we could do, even though I know most of the people are struggling to sleep with AC. And so if you are one of those, please just like either use a fan, okay, which is okay, a lot less aggressive, let's call it. And you can use a fan, and perhaps instead of being at around 18 degrees, you can be at 20, 22, okay? That's just what they say. The range is around 15 to 20 degrees, so 59 to 68 Fahrenheit. And really, because the optimal room temp helps in two ways, which is really cooling down the body temp to initiate sleep. Because really, if you didn't know, like you need to have, you need your body temperature needs to drop a tiny bit in order to initiate sleep. Like it's I didn't know that, to be honest. It's really interesting, but it's around 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius. Okay, it's good for you therefore to sleep in a cooler environment, so it facilitates that. And that's the reason why when you're sweating in a really hot bedroom in the summer, it's so difficult for you to fall asleep. Of course, the opposite is also difficult, you know. So if you're sleeping in a 10 degrees room, of course, you know, it's gonna be super difficult to, you know, to fall asleep. Therefore, you would have to get in that range, as we've said. Okay, so that's the range. And also, really, if you do it this often, like if you get into your bedroom with precisely the same temperature or at that range, you're going to signal to your, you know, to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is basically that part in your brain that creates the circadian rhythm. Okay, that goes around your sleep pattern. Because if you didn't know, we have like a sleep pattern. We have like it's like a routine. And so once you start to get into a cooler environment, your brain will signal to your body to kind of start to ease off, because it's ready for bedtime. Okay, it's interesting. I mean, don't think about it too much, but that's just it. So it's gonna signal to your super SCN to really, it's time to go to sleep. Okay, and really, as I've said, you can either use fan or AC. If you're struggling with AC, you can use a fan. So it's usually a lot less aggressive, and also they're really good for generating white noise. White noise is good if you are struggling with like a noisy environment. We will see this is in another hack. And as I've said, as a rule of thumb, the AC temp shouldn't be lower than 7 degrees than the outside temperature. Okay, so let's make an example. If the outside temperature in summer, I don't know, it's like in the night, it's like 27 degrees, you shouldn't go lower than 20 degrees, because that's exactly 7 degrees less. Okay, if it was 28 degrees, that would be 21. If you were 29 degrees, that would be 22. Again, it refers to the night temperatures. Okay, not the daily temperature. It's not like you get in the day 33 degrees, in the night you get 25. Okay, what rules is the night temp. Okay, so it's a rule of thumb, and usually it helps you, because it's not good to have like an excursion of too many degrees. Okay, between outside temperature and inside temperature, because otherwise you could have this little problem. Perhaps you could get a flu. You could get a cold. You know, so just to be aware. Okay, and as I said, I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me in this regard. It's just like a rule of thumb. You know, you can make researches on the web, and that's what they say. Okay, and that's it. Also, if you don't have AC for whatever reason, like if you're on a hotel, to cool yourself, you could either get rid of your blankets. You know, you could go naked, all right? Or if it's too cold, you can wear socks or loose pajama. You know, in those kind of extreme situations, scenarios where you don't have ACs or like a heater, so you can do that, all right? And again, as I've just said that, and I wouldn't open windows as the first option, to be honest, because you know, you could get insects coming in, you could get white noise. No, sorry, you could get more noise. Perhaps there's some like a loud party outside. So if you open the window, you could get more noise and at the same time more insects, which is not good. Okay. So having said that, guys, let's see in the next lecture number 4. All right. So hack number 4 is about blocking out noise at night. As we've previously briefly anticipated in the lecture number 3, it is so important for you to have a clear, peaceful, relaxed sleep, okay? And it has to be quiet. It has to be quiet. I could not stress enough on this. It is super important, and I'm going to emphasize this because that was my probably biggest issue with my sleep, because my family was really loud. We had complete different time shift. Like I would go to bed at 9:30 to 10 p.m. They would go at midnight. I had like a very young I had a very young brother, 5-6 years old, who was making noise really late in the night. And like generally my other brothers and sisters, they would be staying up at night, like watching TV, listening to loud music. We had the neighbors were really loud as well. We had a couple of dogs We still have them, luckily, but they were really barking all night like crazy, and so I had to find solutions, as you will see in the next slides. But that's really fundamental for you guys. Like, it changed my approach to, like, I changed my life. Like, when I realized, wow, this is actually a big problem for me, then I solved that, and now I sleep 10 times better. And I wake up refreshed. I don't get mad. I don't get irritated. I don't get depressed. It's so much better. And because the problem is this, as you've seen the second bullet point, the hearing sense, as you can see here, the hearing sense will keep processing information during the night. That's the only sense, perhaps, because it's not, you cannot see anything during the night. You cannot smell anything. You cannot touch. Okay, yeah, you can touch, but you don't really feel it. You're not aware. But you can hear, and it's not like, it's not shutting down. Your ears are not shutting down. Okay, your hearing sense are not shutting down. So if there's a loud noise, perhaps you will not get if you're lucky, you won't be waking up. Okay, but 99% of the times you are still gonna sleep, but it will be disrupted. So you're really not gonna be sleeping that well. You're gonna get out of your deep sleep, getting to the light sleep, and that's not gonna be good for you. Okay, and it can be really bad for you in terms of mental sanity, because you will wake up the next day because you will, wow, what happened to me? I feel so groggy. I feel so bad, and that could be due to some things that you were hearing during the night, some noises that you're constantly like disrupting it. That was happening to me, and I was still sometimes being able to sleep, as I said, but that was, it was really destroying the quality of my sleep. Okay, and that was really the worst number one. Okay, and there could be multiple reasons. Okay, there could be multiple reasons. Sometimes we can fix them, sometimes not. Sometimes there's different solutions for it. Okay, one case would be like like neighbors could be loud. Okay, they could be throwing parties outside. You get a dog barking. Dogs could be barking like mine did, and you cannot. There's nothing wrong with them. You need to deal with it. You need to find out a solution. Okay, because perhaps like my dog was barking outside, so they were in the garden. Okay, from our home. So what we did, we found out that actually putting them inside was better, because they were not barking anymore, like because they were getting distracted by the noise from airplanes, from neighbors. So they were starting to bark so much that we had to take them inside, and they were not barking anymore. Okay, or we could have parents, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, that they are watching TV. Okay, and they're using a loud volume and stuff like that. So that's not easy. We need to try to talk to our parents, to our brothers and sisters, trying to find a solution. Trying to negotiate some deals. I don't know, or like also with our partners. If we have a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, we need to talk about this, because it's so important. Try to reduce all of these noises, because otherwise we're not going to be able to sleep well. Okay, now one of the reasons could be also if somebody, like if your partner also snores. That's not easy. Of course, you should seek a medical help for that. I cannot help you with that. So there could be many things. Or perhaps you would have neighbors upstairs that would wearing high heels. They could be moving around. There could be multiple reasons. Okay, now you will see the solutions we can have. Now again, we can see car honking outside, traffic jams, people talking loudly, phone notifications, vibrations. So that's one thing that you can do for yourself. Just shut the damn phone. Okay, just put it into silent mode. If you need the alarm, I would suggest, actually it would be better to take it outside of your room, to be honest. Like, I know it's so difficult for people, because it's one of the first thing that they check in the morning. Once they wake up, they shut it out of airplane mode, and they just start looking at the phone. But that's ultimately bad for you. I'm trying to. That's so difficult though, because it's we feel like, oh, I need to check my email, I need to check my notifications on WhatsApp, my Instagram notification, blah blah. But ideally we should like try to reduce that or eliminate it. That would be the best. We could just purchase like a $15 to $20 alarm, physical alarm, and use that to keep it inside our room, and we can use it. Because I know people say, hey, yeah, but I need my alarm, how can I get it out of my room? Okay, now of course just see for yourself. Ideally, I know it's not easy. I still do it sometimes. I do feel like I need my phone in my bedroom, but anyways, so at least get rid of the noise. Okay, get rid of the notification and vibration sound. Of course, if you because I think I'm pretty sure that if you have an alarm set, even if it's on mute, so even if it's silent mode, it's still gonna ring. I'm pretty sure. Should double check. Depends on phone to phone. I don't want to I don't want to ruin your next appointment because of my advice. So just please check out with your phone or test it out even. So then again, this is the solutions. Okay, these are the solutions to the problem. The problem is we have noise. We need to find a solution. Okay, one thing we could do. Okay, take the dog inside. Okay, we can talk to our parents, brothers, sisters, partners. We can say, hey, let's negotiate a deal. Let's try to silent from 9 p.m. onwards, or like I don't know, I can make you a massage, I can I can wash the dishes, I don't know, just try to negotiate something if it's something inside your family. Okay, otherwise you could go and talk to your neighbors. Please, I'm struggling with my sleep, could you please I'll take care of that. That would be really appreciated. And okay, and then you could also use white noise generators. What that are basically, you can purchase them on Amazon, again, 25-30 bucks. They are like small machines that will they will generate constant noise, but like a white noise. That's good for you. Okay, we as human beings have been used to having white noise at night, like the sound of nature. Okay, like our ancestors, they were never able to sleep totally in a totally quiet environment. That's good for us. They had like the birds, they had the insects, they had the water crushing on the sandy river, like many things could be. And so you could also generate that. You could have the rain sound, you could have the sea wave sound, many things. And I personally like the most the sea wave sound. That's the best, and it's so relaxing as well. You can keep it close to your ears. Most of the white noise generators, they don't emit any radio frequencies, so they are good. They don't have any Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Okay, so they are not gonna like disrupt your electromagnetic field. And so yeah, it will reduce external noise massively. So it's like it gives you a different kind of noise. Okay, so this noise, which is good for you, is kind of reducing, okay, like obstaculating the external noise, which is bad for us, and sometimes we cannot control. If somebody's throwing a party somewhere, or like there's like noise outside the road, I don't know, we cannot control that, and the only thing we can do, either we move home, flat, or whatever, but that's, for so many people, it's not an option. I don't want, first let's try to find different solutions like this one. Or then you can use, this noise. This noise is going to really reduce it. I'm not saying you should keep it here, close to your ear. I'm saying you can keep it like somewhere here, like 1 meter, 2 meters from you, so that it's quite close. Of course, if you take it to the other side of the room, that's what I'm saying, it's gonna be less effective. That's the only thing I'm saying, okay? So, or you can use earplugs if still not enough, but just double check, because earplugs weren't working for me, because first of all, they don't do such a good job, and then they kind of give you some issues. Like, it was hurting my ear the next day, so I just dumped it completely. Okay. Hack number 5 is about having a caffeine curfew. Now, I guess most people know that already, and it's pretty much common knowledge, though there's a few things I want to explain here. There's a few things you should know, and seriously, like, okay, it's quite well known that having too much coffee in the afternoon is bad, but let's have a look at it, why and how much, okay? So, basically, we would like to have a caffeine curfew after 2 p.m. Why that? Because caffeine suppresses adenosine, okay? I want you to remember this. Adenosine is that sleep drive hormone, okay? Basically, adenosine builds up during the day because it's a drive to go to sleep. And it's good that you have it, because if you didn't have it, you wouldn't know when you were tired, okay? You wouldn't know when you would have to go to sleep. So when you feel tired, it's because adenosine is a lot. You have a lot of adenosine in your body, okay? And what basically does, caffeine does, it suppresses adenosine, so you don't know that you're actually tired. And so you don't feel tired. But at the moment that the caffeine drops, you will have a huge sense of tiredness, because then adenosine in the same time keeps building up. So adenosine keeps building up, You will see in the next graph. And it takes so much time to get rid of caffeine to your body. Like once you get coffee, it takes 5 to 6 hours to half the effect of what it means. If you take 100 grams of caffeine, okay, it takes 100 milligrams of coffee. It takes 5 hours to get rid of 50%. So after 5 hours, you still have 50% of your caffeine inside your body, okay? And it's cumulative. It's not like, okay, you take the next coffee and it restore the ones before. No, it's cumulative. So you take one coffee, then second, third, fourth, and it cumulates up, okay? It builds up on top of each other, on top of one another, okay? And so, of course, there's people who are hypersensible and ones that are not so sensible, okay? It depends from people to person. I know people who easily take coffee after dinner and they feel fine with that. So I think it's really like genetic something. Perhaps it's genetic, I don't know why. But I can tell that if you do feel that caffeine works for you, it means that you shouldn't take it during the night, okay? You should really not take it, okay? If anything, you could take decaffeinated coffee or anything like that, similar to that, as long as it doesn't have caffeine, okay? And really, like your mind will feel hyperactive and unwilling to shut down, which is not good. Plus, it dehydrates you, okay? It dehydrates you, then you will feel like drinking something. Then if you drink too much, you will feel like going to pee during the night. So it's like a vicious cycle that it's gonna keep you up at night and not gonna be helping you with your sleep. Definitely, as I said, you can use a decaf or like any other kind of caffeine-free coffee. Okay. Then, as I've said, there's an inverse correlation, of course, between how much caffeine you have and your sleep. And it's been studied, it's been reported. That's how you can see here. The red graph is the amount of caffeine and the blue graph is the amount of sleep. You can see throughout the days, the blue graph was up, so your sleep time was up when your caffeine was down. Where you can see when the red is down, okay? On the left-hand side, you can see the milligrams, okay? On the right-hand side, you can see the hours, okay? So the lower the milligrams of coffee in your body, of caffeine, you are going to have higher sleep hours, okay? So that's really an inverse correlation. More caffeine equals less sleep, less caffeine equals more sleep, okay? And then this is the half-life I was telling you before, okay? So it takes 5 to 6 hours to get a 50% reduction. So 50%, and then after 6 hours, other 50%, so 50% of 50% is 25%. Then it's gonna go on like that, more and more. So after 18 hours, it's 12%, 24 hours, 6%. You can see here, see? And ultimately, after 46 hours, you're still going to have 1% of caffeine. Of course, it's very, very difficult to feel that, but it's, again, still going to be there. As I've said, it takes around 5 to 6 hours to halven, okay? It's called halving, okay? It takes 5 to 6 hours to halve the caffeine amount in your body, okay? And remember, it's cumulative. It builds up, okay? So that's it. Remember, caffeine is not only found in coffee. You can find it in so many different things like chocolate, energy drinks, Coke, cakes, sweets, teas, lattes, in so many different drinks, food or whatever. And you can see on the right hand side, the Starbucks 12-ounce coffee is actually one of the highest in terms of milligrams of coffee. 260 is a lot. And they say that you shouldn't consume more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. So if you already have 2 of these, you're out, okay? You're out of the range. And I don't think that's going to help you with your sleep. Not at all, okay? You can see McDonald's drip coffee, 109, Red Bull, 80. I think 400 is already quite optimistic. I think you should have even less, all right? In order for you to, be healthy overall, but also when you want to go to sleep, you should have a lot less, of course, okay? So really, you can find it in black tea, Coca-Cola, diet, and regular. So just be careful with that. You don't find caffeine only in coffee, okay? And then again, adenosine is the sleep drive, whereas your circadian rhythm is the wake drive. That's exactly what I'm showing you here. The sleep drive builds up, okay? Builds up throughout the day. And if you take coffee, you're not going to see this. You're not going to see that, okay? This is what happens if you sleep deprive yourself for 2 days, okay? You have a strong urge to sleep, okay? But then your circadian rhythm like feel like, okay, I should stay awake. This circadian rhythm, by the way, is the wake drive. So it's like an inbuilt like procedure that it feels like, okay, it's at 8, 9 a.m. It will give you boosts of energy, like boost of awakeness, even though you still haven't slept for a while. So, but still, you can see the wake urge to sleep is still high. And then once you go back towards 10 to 11 p.m., it's still gonna be huge. And so that's why you should not sleep deprive yourself for any reason, okay? Never ever sleep deprive yourself, okay? It really is like if you're drunk at one point. It's really even worse at some point. So really, if you do not sleep, if you sleep deprive yourself, your adenosine levels builds up and become massive. And really, again, remember, caffeine masks adenosine. This is an important thing. So if you have a lot of caffeine, you will feel like you're not tired, but once the caffeine will decline, okay, you are gonna be feeling so tired, and that could be so dangerous. That's why you should not get into your car. You should not do any kind of difficult activities, like dangerous activities. So please bear this in mind, okay? Having said this, we go to sleep hack number 6. Hack number 6 is about reading, especially reading before bedtime and reading in bed. Why is this so important? Because the University of Sussex, okay, the University of Sussex conducted a research that found out that just reading 6 minutes before bed can help you reduce your stress levels by 68%. You see, 6 minutes for 68% is a pretty good deal. You don't have to read for 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 6 hours. Just 6 minutes is enough. It's going to relax you. It's going to get rid of some stress. It's going to really make you feel like less tensed as well in your body, and it's going to also bring your thoughts to another place, especially if you're struggling with like anxiety and stuff like that. You should really start reading, and because I've seen that it also reduces your sleep onset latency. So this SOL, sleep onset latency, states that it's basically the amount of time that it takes you to fall asleep. Okay, so in this case, so right now perhaps your sleep time is your sleep onset latency time is around 30 minutes. Maybe if you start reading, it could go down to 20 minutes, 15 minutes, right? 10 minutes. It depends. Okay. So you can help a lot with your sleep onset latency. Okay, reducing your sleep onset time, and really it really helps to initiate your sleep, because as we've known, stress is one of the biggest disruptor because it produces cortisol, and cortisol is not good for your sleep. Actually, it does not allow you to sleep. If you're stressed, if you're like stressed because you've just like escaped a car accident or whatever, you cannot fall asleep in that moment because you are full of cortisol in your body, okay? Or if you've just fought with your girlfriend, boyfriend, or whoever, you have a lot of cortisol, a lot of stress in your body, so you are not going to be able to sleep, okay? You're not going to be able to fall asleep. Therefore, we need to relieve that stress in order for us to fall asleep, and reading is so good for that, okay? And also, it takes off TV watching time, mobile phone, social media scrolling, like email, work, whatever. So reading is good because it also distracts from all the other activities, okay? And by the way, reading a boring book will really make you feel sleepy. Like a book from school will make you really sleepy, okay? And in addition, it makes you smarter, which is not a bad thing, right? It sparks your creativity and insights. It's really good for that. And I really don't suggest you reading anything horror or murders, because that's bad. Because really that's going to again light up your fight or flight system, and that's again going to create cortisol. That's not going to be good, okay? It's going to make an opposite effect. So instead of reading a horror, you should, or like a murder book, whatever, you shouldn't read at all. But please just find like another kind of books. I really like to read biographies. That they are really good because they inspire me a lot, especially before going to bed. And I would highly encourage you to use warm reading lights. I do it for myself. I have one in my room, like this one on the right side. You can look for this on Amazon, like just write warm reading light, okay? Just type that and you will find $20 to $25 one. They're really, really good. And ideally you should aim for yellow and orange color, because they are not going to disrupt as blue light, from what we've seen in the previous episode, like TV does. So it is not going to disrupt your melatonin production at all. As you can see here, it's the best. Okay, these colors are the ones that block, okay, your melatonin. And as you can see, these lights are all around yellow, orange, red, okay, and they're good for you, okay. So this is what this kind of light provide you, okay. And also they're a lot more comfortable to shut off, instead of like waking up, like getting up and switching it from, I don't know, the other side of the room. And I also like to do some breathing exercises before bed, before like breathing, because they really help me fall asleep faster. And that's the topic for the last hack that will be coming soon. So that's it, okay. And as I've said, read something that inspires you. Personal growth biographies are really, really good, and they also help me with my dreams. I start dreaming better things. You'll see that what you do just before bed is really, really important for yourself, and also it influences a lot your subconscious. So if you do read something that you're targeting towards in life, like, I don't know, making more money, like become a better person, personal growth, become a better leader, improving your relationship with your family. So anything that you read before bed is really, really important for that, because you're gonna keep thinking about it during the night subconsciously. So that's good. And also practicing a foreign language is good, because if you want to, I don't know, like I was studying Chinese a couple of years ago, and just practicing before bed would help me a lot, and in the morning I would remember a lot more. So having said that, let's go to the last hack. Hope you are enjoying this course. Just leave a review if you want, and let me know what you think about it. Let's go to hack number 7. The 7th and final hack in this course is about doing some breathing meditation before bedtime. Now this, in my opinion, is super, super, super important, because this is what happens. If you do breathing meditation before bed, it will improve your mood, it will relieve stress, improve cognition, reduce tobacco cravings, improve pain response, reduce anxiety and depression, increase focus, and reduce inflammation. That's everything. And I'm not inventing these things. It's not based on my personal experience. It's just pure science, okay? That's what meditation does, and breathing meditation in particularly, okay? That's simply the act of using your breath, controlling your breath, okay? Just easing off, controlling your breath, and doing, as we'll see in the next slides, just use a couple of exercises in order for you to ease off and get as much oxygen as possible, and that will be so relieving for you. And as I've said, it's going to make all of these things: relieve stress, improve your mood, reduce anxiety, increase focus, okay? And ultimately, all of these things will make you fall asleep earlier, okay? Yeah, meditation will also, as I said, increase serotonin, increase melatonin, which is, again, the sleep hormone, which is so super important. And serotonin is the precursor of melatonin. So comes serotonin, then comes melatonin, and then once all of these are here, that it's much easier to fall asleep. And meditation will also help you reduce your heart rate, decrease blood pressure, and activate parts of the brain that control sleep. And as we've seen with heart rate and blood pressure, they're really important for you to initiate sleep, okay? And this is what you're gonna do, okay? You should really try and do this, okay? That's the only exercise I encourage you to do. And you can practice it and see what's your favorite, okay? What's your favorite? You can listen and control your breath, okay? You should listen and control the breath, okay? And essentially you just have to take in deep breaths and take them out. Now, there's 2 techniques that I really like, and the 4-7-8 techniques and the box breathing technique, okay? So the 4-7-8 technique states that you should breathe in for 4 seconds through your nose, hold for 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds, okay? You should do this 5 to 10 times, and you will see so much relief. You will feel so relaxed. And try it out. 4 seconds in, hold for 7 seconds, and release for 8 seconds, okay? With your mouth. And then the box breathing technique, it's different. It's 5 seconds, breathe in, 5 seconds, hold, 5 seconds, breathe out, and 5 seconds, hold after you breathe out. Okay, so it's 5 seconds. So you should count them in your head. Okay, I was probably not 5 seconds, but just to give an idea. Okay, so 5 in, hold 5 seconds, 5 out, hold 5 seconds, 5 in. Okay, that's it. Do this as well for 5 to 10 times. It's such an easy exercise, just requires a little bit of willpower. I tell you, it's gonna be so good. And you can use the diaphragm. I use it and I like it so much because basically your breathing from your diaphragm means that you should try to breathe from your belly, let's say. So take your air from there also, not only for your lungs but from your diaphragm. You can search on the internet for diaphragm breathing, okay, and they can explain to you. So essentially you should just try to breathe on your belly, okay. So, and you should try to do this for 7 to 8 minutes, okay. Do this for 5 to 10 times. You will see if you do it slowly, it will take around 7 to 10 minutes, okay. And this really helps to relax yourself, calm the sympathetic system, and that will be so good for your stress, anxiety, and this is the exercise, because you should all do all the other things, all the other 6 acts, but this one will be the one that really calms everything down and gives you so much relaxation. And yeah, guys, I'm so happy. I really hope that you can try these things out and see what works. Perhaps some things are not going to work, some things are going to work, and just try on yourself. I'm so happy. Just please drop me a message if you need anything else. Remember, I'm not a sleep doctor, not a sleep scientist, but these things have been working for me a lot, so you should try them out. See you.